going over why I haven't been talking about like the armor of Soul Calibur, since I got a couple comments on my chain sword and my other video. On the I've been researching about Tonfa, so like the name just Kanabo just went from my head. So we're actually going to look at, I did figure out how I get to him. So everyone keeps asking me why I won't cover armor in Soul Calibur, why I haven't been, I should say. Very simple, nobody uses it right, and everyone points to Siegfried saying, oh, well, he's in armor. Okay, first of all, I don't know who helped Siegfried pick out his armor, but it sucks completely. I'm talking about a realistic sense, and a stylistic choice, I get it. He doesn't have any chainmail, there's no gabison or anything under it protecting him, it's just the metal and then him. And, like, you can see his shoulders right there, like, so I'm just gonna stab there, like, yeah, you look in the picture, it looks really cool, because, yeah, in that stance, you're gonna have a hard time finding a hole in his armor, but what would be even better is, not that, is instead of this leather armor underneath, which could be very effective, he would have chainmail. Ah, now look at that. Much better already, and that's not even fully kitted out. Secondly, even though it looks cool, we would have to ditch the scarf. I don't see what point it could have on the battlefield, and yeah, you could say, ooh, like 10 wounds or whatever, you know, it could be like a field kit. But if you wanted to have something like that, might I propose this? Yeah, it clips through, but this is a lot more suited, in my opinion. The like little scarf thing I didn't understand, and then a helmet. Yes, we need a helmet. What good is it protecting your body if your head gets cut off? So let's find something. That's not gonna help. Let's find something appropriate. This'll work. The Knight Helm. See, now, yes, he looks a lot less cool in most people's opinions. Like, he doesn't have the cool factor, but you put that faceplate down, he's gonna be pretty well protected. I mean, arrows would still be a problem, but yes, and I'm talking in a realistic sense, of course. I'm not talking about, like, in a fantasy sense. In a fantasy sense, no one really cares. This was minor tweaks. Looking at someone like, good God, Taki? Song Mina Mitsurugi, oh my God, what blasphemy did he do? And then I'm not gonna be going over like Astaroth, Cervantes, Nightmare, Yoshimitsu, anyone else that isn't innately human, and I'm not going to be covering Geralt either. He's not really in Soul, I mean, he is in Soul Calibur, but he's not from Soul Calibur. We're going to be talking about him when I go through the Witcher series, which I will be planning on doing. And this emo lord, I don't even know what his problem is, but one arrow to the chest will put his ass down. And why do I keep saying arrow instead of say bullet? Sean, they have bullets in Soul Calibur. Siegfried has a gun, or not Siegfried, Cervantes has a gun. Well, because if guns are prevalent, like, you're not going to be using swords, you're just not. So I'm going on, like, medieval warfare. Medieval, Dark Age, whatever you want to say. I know they're different ages and everything, but, I'm not even going to go over what I would have to do to him. Not to mention his weapon. We'll be getting to that, by the way. I have plans for him. And don't even get me started on the girls. Holy crap. In my opinion, Ivy is the worst in this, but I've already had one thumbnail covered with her covered by her, so I'm not going to go into that. Let's go to Talim, which, by the way, will be the next episode that's in the works. I just want to do a little bit more research on Tonfas to make sure I get everything right. So, she's pretty much, like, she's not wearing anything. And I know she's a wind priestess, and so war isn't her thing. Okay, this is a ceremonial garb. That makes a lot more sense in that style, but let's, even if you were just to say, throw this on, the scaled armor, which would impede everything else, because of course it would. Or instead of her, like, little cyclone bikini thing, just this, the scaled suit. This would be much better. Again, it doesn't have the same appeal, but in real life, I would rather be alive than... And her legs are still very well exposed, but this would be a quick fix. Like, if this was all you had, it is better than nothing. When you're talking about armor, you want to make sure that there are no gaps. Like, if we... Let's go to create a character, and yes, at the end of the series I will go over why I have a crap ton of created characters. Let's just make one dude, and let's try to kit him out with... We'll give him a kind of western weapon. There, still gonna use the Mitsurugi fighting style, because it doesn't really matter. Let's kit him out to be your average soldier. Viking helm, no horns, which is actually how they were primarily used, but yeah, there's nothing really we need here per se, but we could give him this just to kind of keep the dust out of his mouth and shit. Let's go down to chainmail. This will be very useful. This is going to very much help him. And then, let's see, what could we give him? Allegiance. What's this look like? Oh, this! Steel mail, which would... I don't think that's mail, I think that's plate. And if you didn't want to give him that, I saw a whole bird. This would actually be very good armor. And with that chainmail underneath, I can very well see our boy living on to fight another day. You could put plate over it if you wanted to, but I wouldn't call it necessary. But if you're going to be in a battlefield, you want to have all the layers of protection you can. Though it would be quite heavy. So we're going to go slacks. Not the Regency slacks. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. You won't be seeing much of them. Then what we're going to do is we're actually going to give him this scaled fraud. This will, again, it's helping him stay alive. And this is just like a lighter air quote armor. So let's give him a little sketchy, but better than nothing. And then these, since we're giving him the pieces here, let's head back up here and let's just throw this on the breastplate. There, now our boy's in some heavy armor. And we're gonna do knee socks. You still have to wear socks when you're wearing armor. Yes. Yes, quite. And then Lord Greaves. Let's see what those look like. Those wouldn't make very good greaves, but let's see if we can find something that match. Ah, the Cataclysm greaves. These would be much better suited, in my opinion, just because they look a little nicer and they perform the same function. So the only problem you would really have is that crotch area. You don't want anything exposed. And it sounds weird, but trust me, people are gonna go for that. And like these silver gauntlets, if these weren't made of silver, like if they were like these, hell yeah, look at that. then instead of this, I think the steel stuff really does work great. I don't think they have any comments though. Greaves. Yeah, I don't see any. Crap. That's it. There's the breastplate. And then there are some things that would work here. Requiem armor. I don't know what you're considering armor. This actually works pretty well. Yeah, this is actually a lot better than most would think. And it looks pretty cool too. So let's have that. But yeah, it's the armor basics, and that isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination either. That's just what I could throw together. And then, and just to go over some, if anyone's wondering, am I just going to be shitting on every single fighting style? No, I actually have two fighting styles I want to talk greatly about. One of them being the newest DLC character, Amy. And her battle style is really good in game, but realistically, again, not the most realistic thing, but it is so good in game, so I want to kind of cover both sides of that. So I'm probably going to go back after I get all of these done realistically, for like a realistic Battlefield kind of standpoint, and then I'm going to go back and do my review on them in game and how they actually work in game, and like, you know, are they any better or any worse. And just so you guys know, going through the Soul Blade, you can get the original artwork if you wanted. So you can go through the ages and see what people look like and how they were different. Like, I don't even know who Rock is. But there's Cervantes, Lee Long. I didn't join until soulcaliber6. So if we go, and this is Soulcaliber. So I do not have enough soul points. I thought I did. Oh well. Not a big deal. We'll probably cover those at another day. Anyway, I'm Sarge, and I'll see you on the next Sarge's Recap.